Now let's go ahead and do a few quick examples of how to calculate the measures of center. So we have talked about two different measures of center, the mean and the median. And a lot of times when statisticians talk about measures of center, they actually include the mode as well. It's like kind of a thing, mean, median, and mode in sets of three. So we're going to just do with some examples, finding all of those three things. So starting with the mean is actually also called the average. And to find the average of the list of numbers, you just sum all of the numbers and then divide how many are on the list. So this list that I have here has 5 numbers. So I am going to add all of them together to find the mean or the average. So I'm going to take 7 plus 2 plus 8 plus 6 plus 7 and divide by 5 to find the mean. And wait, you have Python pulled up, and I am bad at mental math. So what do I get for the average?
So the sum was 30 divided by 5 is 6.
Perfect. So the average of this list is 6. Very straightforward. And we can actually, if we have these numbers as a data frame in Python, we can actually use Python to go ahead and calculate the mean by just doing df.mean. And we can specify the mean of the column if we want to by including that column name. So Wade, you've told me that you actually use a symbol for the mean, right?
Yeah, so we always represent the mean, especially when we're writing down for research papers and other purposes, as the Greek letter mu.
Mu. So in statistics, we actually use mu as well. And specifically, we use mu to represent the population mean. So if you are dealing with an entire population and you know the mean, we would call that mu. And in statistics, a lot of times we have to make a difference between the population and a sample. Many times we actually don't know the mean of the population. Instead, we just know a mean of a small sample. So I use a symbol called X bar, which is just X with a little bar over it, to represent the sample mean. And this will come up more in this series, but I wanted to get you used to this notation early on so that when you see it, you at least know what it means.
And often as data scientists, we are going to be looking at just a sample of data because it's going to be impossible to survey every single person.
Exactly. And a big part of data science is using what you know about a sample, so X bar, to estimate what you would get as the mean of a population, which is mu. And now let's move on to the median. So the median is another measure of center. And to find the median, we basically just have to put the numbers in order from smallest to largest and then pick the middle number. So I have this list of numbers right here, 1, 4, 2, 5, and 0. And those actually aren't in order. So if I just picked the middle number and said that 2 was my median, that might not be right. So let's put them in order first, and then let's go ahead and find the middle number. So the smallest number is 0, and then I have 1, 2, 4, and 5. Well, I got lucky
It was
because
2.
2 is the middle number. So 2 is the median right here.
So what if there wasn't an odd number of numbers? Like there's no middle number when you have 6 numbers.
Ooh, that's a great question. Here, I got lucky again because I had an odd number of numbers. There's an exact middle number, which is 2. And it was in the middle even when I didn't order them. But that is not always going to be the case. So the next puzzle I have here actually has a list of 6 numbers. And these are in order. We have 0, 5, 6, 10, 11, and 12. And so there's technically 2 middle numbers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got 6 and 10 as our middle numbers. So the median in that case would just be the average of those 2 numbers. So I have these 2 middle numbers, 6 and 10, and I would just go ahead and find the average. So 6 plus 10 is 16 divided by 2. So our median would be 8. And then also with median, we can use a nice command in Python to find the median. We can just do df.median. Yes, and Wade is going to go over a lot of examples doing that in this series as well. And then the very last thing I did want to mention is the mode. Wade, do you use the mode a lot in computer science?
I can't remember if I've ever used the mode since elementary school.
I honestly don't use the mode.
Is that the most, I think it's the most frequently occurring number?
Yes, so the mode, I'm just going to write this down, is we like to think of it as the most common number, most frequently occurring number on a list. So let's just say I had an example. I'm just going to do an easy one. Give me a quick list of numbers.
3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 3.
4, 5, 3. So I would look at this list and see which one is the most common. It looks like we have 3 3s and 2 4s and 2 5s. So in this case, the mode would be 3. So again, this is another measure of center. Oftentimes you'll hear mean, median, mode that we don't use super often in data science, but we thought it would be good for you to know all 3 of them.